Hi y'all, I'm Kristen Morris, Sales Manager for North America here at WireMasters. And today I wanted to chat just a little bit about time management. So before you set your priorities for next week, I wanted to share one of the most helpful thought processes that I've learned regarding time management. There's an author, Stephen R. Covey, who covers the time management matrix in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. In the next few minutes, I'm going to briefly introduce what he refers to as his quadrant method. I hope that this helps each one of you better manage your time and your weekly tasks here at WireMasters. Everything we do in life falls into one of two categories. The two factors that determine what we do are the things that we deem both urgent and important. And the actions you take are either urgent, which these are the things that require your time and attention right now. They have immediate consequences, or they could be not urgent, which really means that there's no time pressure. The two questions that you should ask yourself to help clearly define your priorities are, is this task important? Meaning, does it contribute to your vision, your mission, your values, your objectives, strategies, your high priority goals? Or is it not important? Quadrant 1 is both important and urgent. This is things like your biggest client has an urgent need. Your computer's crashed and you're going, Justin Faulkner, help! You have a deadline-driven project, you have some sort of a crisis, an emergency. All of these things fall into quadrant 1. Quadrant 1 items get done. These are the things that you do first and you do right now. However, the issue is if you stay in this quadrant very long, you are going to be stressed out all the time. So we don't want to live in quadrant 1. Quadrant 2 is actually where we really want to be. These items are important, but they're not particularly urgent. And if you think about it, really everything that you do that improves the quality of your life, both work and personal life balance, they fall in quadrant 2. These are the kinds of things that you could refer to as building and improving your relationships, personal development, seizing new opportunities and seeking out new clients, developing and empowering others, something that you're doing for someone else and not just yourself, problem prevention, preparation, better planning. All those types of things fall into quadrant 2. This is where you set your long-term goals. So quadrant 2 is the one that we want to focus on. Unfortunately, most of us really don't spend enough time here because the tasks are important, but they're not urgent. So it's really easy to say, you know what, I'll do that later. The problem arises when the later becomes never. So we want to make sure that we schedule time to do these activities and schedule that often. Quadrant 3 is not important, but it implies time pressure. So there is a sense of urgency about these. It can almost be deceptive because it feels like the tasks are important, but really it's just a sense of urgency. So these types of things are interruptions. They often involve the priorities of other people. Calls, emails, text messages, even some meetings can fall into this category. Quadrant 3 items don't really contribute to your vision, your mission, your objectives, and your high priority goals. So you find yourself wasting time doing any little task that appears in front of you. And what you really want to do is minimize the time here and not confuse urgency with importancy. Rescheduling and even delegating these tasks can help you stay on task with more important items. So then we go into quadrant 4. Really, quadrant 4 can be referred to as waste and excess. There's no time pressure and there's no real importance here, but it can be kind of fun because time wasters and escape activities live here. So this is social media scrolling, checking your personal email, water cooler conversations, that kind of stuff. That all falls in quadrant 4. These activities are not urgent or important, but they do provide you with some fun. So please allow yourself some time for these activities, but maybe do so as a reward for accomplishing tasks in another quadrant, something that's more important or does have a sense of urgency about it. So this was really a rather brief introduction to Covey's time management matrix. So what I'd like to focus on now are some of the keys to success in time management. So where do I start? How do I prioritize? What I will say is that what matters most matters most. We don't want to confuse activity with productivity. Many people are simply busy being busy. So maybe think of one personal activity and one work activity that will bring about this phenomenal improvement in your life. something that you can do at work and in your personal life that if you do them well and you do them consistently, will improve both. Maybe spending time with family and improving relationships with key clients. Two really good examples of what I'm talking about here. What quadrant would you say that those two activities fall into? If you said quadrant 2, you're absolutely right. So how do we spend more time in quadrant 2? We plan for it. Every minute spent planning saves 10 minutes in execution. I'm gonna say that again. Every minute that you spend planning saves you 10 minutes in execution. Literal way to give yourself time back in your day. The number one most important thing that you can do is actually plan for your day. One thing that we would suggest would be making a literal list, writing down or typing that out, everything that you need to do during the day, because that allows you to visually identify what it is that you need to accomplish. Writing it down clarifies your thinking, and it also forces you to think at a higher level. So here's another interesting fact. By working from a list, you increase your productivity and your output 25% just that first day. Another thing I'm gonna repeat right there. By working from a list, you increase your productivity and your output by 25%. That's a major impact. So once you have your list, you can then begin to place these tasks into the 4 quadrants and prioritize them that way. Your tasks typically follow what we refer to as the 80-20 rule. If you have 10 tasks, 2 of them will be more valuable than the other 8 combined. So begin each day with your most important task and stay with it until it's complete. You can increase your productivity by 50% simply by starting and completing your most important task the very first thing each day. What you want to do is identify and seek out the important priorities and schedule time to accommodate each of these activities in your schedule. So what I would suggest, first, start with a list. Second, organize this list by priority using those 4 quadrants. Then start on and complete your most important tasks first thing each day. Good luck on crushing your task this week. I can't wait to high five all of you on achieving those goals and objectives that you set for yourself.